After show.
After show. After show. That was very smooth how you started recording on the audio recorder and the camera at the same time. I was like, what's happening?
Pro move.
Pro move.
You know what else is a pro move? Gaming treadmill desks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very pro.
We've actually been using them a decent amount since we built them.
Yeah.
We've used them almost every single day since we've completed them.
Yeah, not really for gaming, just more as like a treadmill desk. Like we've used the computer part of them because we haven't really had time to play games yet.
I want to play games on them.
I want to play games.
So want to play games on them.
I know, it was fun. We did it for a little bit when we were filming the video and we got back into the muscly outfits.
Yeah.
So we did do it for that because we were like getting a time lapse of it. And I was like, oh, this is fun. That's the only time we've actually played games, but we have used them.
Yeah, it's like when we were brainstorming ideas yesterday, we were like, okay, let's brainstorm ideas, but let's hop on the internet, look for some inspiration, and go for a little walk while we do that.
Browse Pinterest while we stroll.
Yeah, make a new spreadsheet of how to think of ideas, and it's like how you have a graph of all these. Anyways, never mind.
I don't think most people make spreadsheets, but yes, spreadsheets. It's a idea decision matrix spreadsheet that we just made.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I've definitely been liking them so far.
I don't know if there's much I would change, honestly.
I think the only thing that I might change is, so there was one issue that we didn't foresee being an issue until the very end, and luckily we saved it, and that was like, we realized that because they're so high, like we were picturing this floating desk where there's a really cool resin top and you saw the lights coming out of it and you couldn't, any light you saw was diffused by the resin. And then we realized like, oh yeah, because you're up on a treadmill, these are extra tall. They're at like my head height. And so I just see straight through to the LEDs, no diffuser or anything.
LED is just like shining straight out and it was not pretty.
So we had some of this polypropylene that we had bought to use for the mold sides. And we realized that it also worked as a nice diffuser. So like last minute during the final montage, Evan was like, what if we just try shoving this in there and seeing if it diffuses? And it worked. But I wish that we had it be the full height.
Oh.
It's not the full height of the space because it's just like the height of the stuff we happen to get for the molds.
Yeah.
And I think it'd look nicer if it went all the way up. But I think that's the only thing I would change. It's just it was something we didn't foresee.
No, yeah.
Another thing I would change actually maybe is I might have.
It might be hard to do it full height for like feeding it in because of the cables.
It could be like a little bit less.
A little bit less, and let me twist it and pop it at the last. Yeah.
Or you could do it and then feed the cables through.
Or we could add a slot in there and like divot and then like slide it in and the cables go through a divot in the wood or something that we power carve in.
Yeah, it gets more complicated. I think another thing that might have been cool is if, again, just because like the resin is kind of tall and you see it when you're on the desk, but you don't really see it too much, is if it waterfalled down the edges and our two side pieces were acrylic also, because that would be cool. But that would still just be like a pretty tiny piece. But overall, like I am really happy with it, and I'm really happy with how the resin pour turned out.
Yeah, I think that there are some changes I'd make there too. I think that if we did this in the future, one thing I might do is I might space these like 1/4 of an inch away from the acrylic.
Oh, and let it pour over?
It pours over, and then the sides would be full resin, and then the acrylic.
But it's still controlled. Oh, that's a good idea. Because one issue we had is a little sliver of acrylic did leak down in some places.
Yeah.
Along that, like between the acrylic and the edge of the polypropylene. Not everywhere, but in some places. And so like...
It left some slight imperfections.
It left some slight imperfections, and we were worried, like, if we had infinite time, which we didn't, we could have sanded it off, but then we'd have to sand the entire edge and flame polish.
But also, it's like, I was worried, like, if you flame polish the edge, like, what if there's a thermal expansion difference between the
resin and
the acrylic, you know, and then they pop, they expand at different rates, and then they shatter,
pop.
or they pop off, or they, like, delaminate.
Yeah, so we didn't want to risk it, and we didn't really have time to just, like, do any of that anyway.
Yeah, but like the main thing that the acrylic does is it's clear and it takes up a lot of volume. So that makes it, in the end, cheaper than just full acrylic and full resin. and it's faster, and all these other reasons.
Yeah.
But if we had have left like a 1/4 inch on all 4 sides, then it would have been like amazing.
Now we would have had to calculate for that with the design, unless we wanted it overhanging.
We would have had to calculate that for the design.
But that would be cool. Maybe next time, because I definitely want to do more stuff with the acrylic.
Yeah, but like that is something I thought of afterwards, and I've been like, that would have been smart.
Yeah, next time.
Okay, so there are some changes that we would make.
Yeah.
But in terms of the functionality,
It's awesome.
I love the pull-out keyboard trays.
I'm so glad we did that, because the original
Oh my
design was like
gosh.
2 different pieces. There was like the wall-mounted area for the monitors and all the electronics, and then we were going to have some sort of like individual shelves that we mounted directly to the treadmills for each of us, that we would put like trays that we would put our keyboards on.
Yeah.
But it was so hard because we couldn't. They would block our ability to reach the treadmill controls.
Yeah.
So the pull-out trays.
Yeah, we went through a lot of design iterations. We spent probably like I don't know,
A long time.
many hours going back and forth on different designs, different mock-ups. We were sketching things out and stuff.
Different ways to mount it.
Yeah, so this project took longer than usual with all the planning, and then the resin, and then the build and all of that. So.
One fun thing about this one is we got to do 2 different skits.
Oh yeah.
But it was funny because
I'm really so happy with how the space one turned out.
Me too. I love the space one. So the funny thing is, we filmed this, or we went shopping for like the props and costumes for the skits the day after Halloween. So we go to Party City and we're like, everything's gonna be so cheap. None of it except for the muscle suit was on sale. The muscle suit was the only one, and so we were like, and Party City's still like kind of expensive. So instead of buying 2 of everything, we just bought 1 of each item. And because it was all green screen, we recorded ourselves separately.
And then layered us.
And then layered them. So like we're recording our lines totally separately, which actually ended up being funny. And I think like one of the funniest moments is when we were like what Wi-Fi do you have? 5? And like we both had laughs at different timings and stuff. I don't know, like it ended up being really funny. But I wonder, like, I mean, in the bloopers, we showed just you by yourself.
Yeah, I wonder if people will notice.
Yeah, we'll notice that like we were recording
separately.
Yeah. And we just put on each, like we had 1 costume and we
had
just
one
swapped.
muscle suit. We both
1 muscle suit, 1
turns.
American flag cape, 1 headband, 1 wig.
It was good. It was good.
That was fun.
One thing that we didn't capture in the video is how partway through when I was flame polishing things, everything started warping.
Especially the little piece.
The little piece, yeah.
The little piece of acrylic.
Oh.
Well,
It caused issues.
Well, so I don't think it warped when you were flame polishing it.
It did warp when I was flame polishing it. I had to bend it back in place. But then I think that when we did the resin on top, it warped again.
Because when we put it on the plywood, when we were setting up for our resin pour, it was flat. We would have noticed.
Yeah.
And then when we were checking on the fully cured resin, it was bowed significantly. And we couldn't really bend it back. And so we just had to like put an additional spacer in the back, like wire wrangling portion.
Yeah, just like a little 2x2 chunk just to hold it up.
Yeah, just like a little spacer to help like raise it a little bit.
And it ended up working pretty well.
It looks fine, but we were just like, oh my God.
I also see that you have leaking written down, but I don't think it leaked too much.
No, just the part we already talked about where the little sliver of resin leaked around the edges.
Leaked there. Oh, I thought you were talking about in the corners. Because in 3 of the corners, there was like a tiny little nub.
No, it didn't really leak. I wrote down the one thing that you already said.
Oh, yeah. The other one.
Yeah. We have to, when we don't record, sometimes, like often we try to record after shows immediately after we finish the outro, and these past 2, it's just been crunch time and we weren't able to, so sometimes we have to like write down notes of like the stuff we want to talk about.
For you sharp-eyed viewers, 1 week ago today, you might notice that we are wearing the same outfits as the last after show. That's because we just recorded the after show for the pendulum art.
Yeah, our timelines are all over the place.
Yeah, our house is still a mess. The garage is still a mess. We might try to film a mini vlog sometime, like with a behind the scenes.
And if we do, it'll be out before both of these after shows. So just don't worry about the timing.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Woo!
Woo! I just like hula dance.
I was trying to do like, don't worry about it, mind magic.
That's what I was trying to do too, but then I started like I'm gonna like back out, you know? But instead of doing the like, woo, 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 I just went like, woo.
For some reason, I also think I get some SpongeBob vibes from that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, just want to thank you guys again for spending some time with us, spending some extra time joining us in today's after show, supporting us with this crazy venture that we're doing. And we'll look forward to talking to you in the next after show. Bye.
Bye.